We've got an email question. Let's go to that. Let's see, we don't know. Let's see, who is this from?
Sandra.
Yeah. There we go. It's from Sandra. Sandra asked, what is just compensation? I have a piece of land that has increased in value every year. I have no plans to sell it because it has been in my family for generations, and I know it will be worth much, much more in the future. So why should I accept the value of in 2023 for something instead of holding on to it for 10 or 20 more years and getting that value? This makes me mad. And she put it in all caps. Yeah, there it is. All caps and an exclamation point, Sandra. And you know, honestly, it kind of makes me mad too. Property that's been in for generations and generations, what do you do about that situation? I mean, do you say, all right, well, Sandra, you know, the property is going to be worth, with inflation and everything going well, 50 years from now, it's going to be worth X, or do you have to value it for 2023?
Well, it has to be valued at the date of taking. Well, if Sandra didn't agree to some kind of purchase agreement with them and it went to an order of taking hearing, the date of value would be the date of taking. But that doesn't mean that Sandra has to accept what they say is just compensation is just compensation. Sandra should absolutely hire an eminent domain attorney and get her own appraiser, and if necessary, other experts involved in determining what the right value of that property is.
So, you know, with generational land and under current tax laws, there's what's called a step up in basis, meaning if I own an acre of land and I die, there's a step up in basis to the people that I give it to, and then after they die, then there's a step up in basis they give it to. So if I had paid $10 for an acre of land, and look, you look at Bay County and the prices here, you know, the Red Diamond Tea Corporation developed Laguna Beach, and they were selling lots at $50 a month and $50 down, and pay it off in a few years. And so just, 50, 60 years ago, I guess a little bit longer than that, but, maybe 50, 60 years ago, on Panama City Beach, lots that are now going for $1 million were being sold for, $3,000 and $4,000. So how is it then with Sandra, would the evaluation take place since it's generational land? Does it make a difference that it's generational land? Or does it, because the value, there's at least, it sounds like even maybe a sentimental value to Sandra.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of people have sentimental values attached to their land, especially in situations like that, or a business that they built themselves and have that sweat equity into it that just didn't recognize by an appraisal. So the way an appraiser is going to approach that is no, they're not going to give more value to it. But eminent domain, if you go all the way to trial, you've got a right to a jury trial. Would a jury give more value to it? Maybe.
Right.
Certainly people around here may think that way.
Yeah. So there are jury trials in eminent domain cases.
Absolutely.
And see, that's something I didn't know. So talk to me about that a little bit. Sandra, first of all, I hope that helps you out. If you have any additional questions, again, we need to maybe get some more information about that, but we'll be more than happy to talk with you during the week. But let's talk about that. You have a right to a jury trial on this? It's not just a matter of negotiations going back and forth?
Oh, absolutely. That's a constitutional right that you've got. And it's a 12-person jury, not the 6-person that we see a lot of times. The way a eminent domain case works is it's a 2-step process. The first is a judge decision whether the condemning authority has met their burdens of showing that it's for a public purpose and that their deposit is based on a valid appraisal.
Okay.
Once they've deposited that, you're still negotiating with them on what the final compensation will be. And if you don't reach an agreement, then yes, it goes to a jury trial in front of 12 jurors. On
the issue of valuation.
Exactly.
Not on the value. So a judge is going to make the decision as to whether or not it is a valid taking, and that's it. And then it's a jury's determination to determine what the value of the land is.
That's exactly right.
Okay, excellent.